Hey guys, Kris V with your next tip of the week. So I wanted to quickly talk to you. I went to a retreat this last weekend with my oldest son, and it was a church retreat. And man, I tell you, I probably learned more from it than he did. And it was very eye-opening experience. Mainly because it was all middle schoolers and high schoolers. So my son is just on the middle school age. He just turned 12, so this is his first experience with this. And man, it was eye-opening because listening to these teens and kind of seeing them interact and seeing what the speakers had to do to kind of grab their attention. That was probably the biggest thing. It was like, wow, there's a lot that they had to do to kind of connect with them in the first place in order to get them to kind of listen to them and just hear what they had to say. The messages were really good, really powerful messages. It was mostly having to do with relationships, which, my son being 12, I was like, whoa, there's a few conversations I'm going to be having to have with him now. So that was one thing. What I got from it that I wanted to share with you guys, though, is the connection piece. Because as we are becoming, and I know I've said this several times, and I'm going to constantly be talking about it because I'm very passionate about it, is that we are becoming a very disconnected society with our smartphones and iPads and other pads and everything that we're constantly on, and all these apps that are constantly bombarding us, drawing our attention, our kids. And when you look, if you have kids, especially kids that are in that teenage years around there, then you know how much they are wrapped up in that. And I'm constantly getting on my son, trying to get him off of his devices to interact with us, and realizing that that is an ongoing challenge. Now, I am all for technology, and I'm definitely not saying that this technology is a bad thing. I know there are some people that believe that. I'm not one of those. I'm in full support of technology. In fact, our kids are actually homeschooled, and part of their homeschool curriculum is all online. They do something called Easy Peasy Homeschooling, and it's all online based, and it actually teaches them how to do HTML, teaches them about coding. So a lot of cool things that I think are going to be crucial for them to have for the future, and very helpful for them as well. So I'm all for technology, but there has to be a balance, and balance is something that I'm a very, very firm believer on. You can definitely have too much of the technology, and if you're focused so much on that and you're wrapped up in it so much, you miss everything else that's going on around you. So I think it's very important, especially as a family, that you get involved with your family and you help your children to realize that they have to connect with people one-on-one. Otherwise they lose that human connection there, and they don't get it then. And technology is the same way. And so here's my relation, bringing it back to businesses. So as I usually try to get my tips to be focused on our business, a lot of it, though, I do believe starts personally too, because if you don't have good personal connections or good personal life, that typically is going to flow into your business life as well. So here's where that flows into the business aspect. If you don't understand this and you think that the connection is just online, or it's just about reaching out to someone on social media, and you miss the human one-on-one connection there, you forget that the other person on that other side is an actual human being, then you're not going to get the sales, you're not going to get the success that you think you should be getting or that you're expecting. And it's because you're missing the point. You got to realize, and you got to remember, that we are still working with people, whether it's a service you offer, whether it's something that you offer for sale to them. It's still a person that is receiving that, and you have to treat them that way. You have to think that way when you are making your offer. So that connection, and realizing, how do I connect with that person? So again, for me at this retreat, realizing how to connect with teenagers, which was a lot more challenging than I expected. I actually was one of the drivers for the buses, so I had a bus that I was driving, like 10 of them, and I had the older kids, and man, I tell you what, these kids could have cared less that I was even there. So I had to work really hard to try to connect with them. But again, it got me thinking, how do I connect with people? And you got to realize that people in different generations, wherever they're at, you may have to change your tactics, change the way that you try to reach out and connect with them. So how are you connecting with your audience right now? So that's the big question that I want you to take away from this, is looking at your marketing, looking at whatever it is you're offering. How am I connecting, and am I treating my advertising, my marketing with the mindset that the person on the other side is an actual human being? So I want to encourage you to do that, and that's my encouragement and tip for this week. If you like these tips and you want to hear more, please subscribe down below. Go ahead and like this video and comment, share with me if you have some strategies that you found that have worked really well. What I really would like to hear especially is the different generations, since we have, this millennial generation that you're hearing a lot more of. If you've had success reaching out to the millennial generation, how have you had that success? What have you found to work really well in connecting with them? Or if it's other generations there, what have you found? And share that. That will be helpful not only for me, but for other people in this community too. So please feel free to share. So thank you guys very much. Today's my wife's birthday, so I got to go take her out. You guys have a great week, and make it a good one. Here's to your success. My name is Kris V. Take care.